In this guide I'll show you a couple of advanced combat moves. Not really that advanced, but there are a couple of nuances here and there that can be really helpful if you know what you're doing. Let's start with a simple jump. By running into an enemy and doing a simple jump, even if it's an enemy group, they are gonna be stunned for a brief moment. This allows you to continue escaping the chase during night and enables continuous parkour without being interrupted by zombie grabs. Simple jump and this method that I've just shown you is very useful when combined with dropkick upgrade and enemy jump upgrade. This allows us to run into an enemy and then jump off of them. Usually I do this by jumping on the enemy and then jumping off of their heads into another enemy and then drop kicking them. You can also use that over the obstacles to drop kick zombies around or over zombies if you have the enemy dash upgrade. Dropkicking can be normally done by simply using the sprint, jumping in the air and pressing X, A or E twice, depending on what platform you're playing. Dropkick isn't the only useful option to get yourself some space. Sprinting and sliding can also deal with the enemies briefly. This game is all about buying yourself some time in order to progress the parkour and to continue running, climbing, jumping, whatever. So these little tips for sliding, drop kicking, jumping over enemies are really helpful to continue the parkour and the free run. But what happens if you're so likable that zombies want to hug you? In that case we can use square on PlayStation gamepad, X on Xbox gamepad and F on keyboard in order to push them away. When they are about to grab you, either tap that button and the direction you want to throw them to, or hold the button if you want to throw them. Tapping is just pushing them slightly out of the way, while holding the button is going to throw them around. Another very useful move when enemies are not aware of you is to go above them to some kind of a balcony or whatever. You don't really need to be that high up, and then jump on top of their heads while holding either an X button or PlayStation gamepad, A button on Xbox gamepad or E button on keyboard. Remember that you must not be seen in order to perform this move. This is a very useful move to continue the parkour as well, and it instantly kills an enemy. There's also a ground pound move that you can do while in the air, but you probably figured that one out already. Basically, when you're in the air, hold the attack button and upon landing it's gonna create a bit of a shockwave, which is enough to stun nearby enemies for a brief moment, and that also helps tremendously with the parkour and free running. As I said, it's all about buying yourself some time. In Dying Light the Beast, overall in Dying Light games, ammo is scarce. There's a method I use in order to not miss that much. The method is simply waiting for the bloody bastards to get to me, then I push them with a kick which resets them and puts them into place. Then I fire a bullet. This is especially useful for gamepad users, where aiming is much more difficult than with keyboard and mouse. Runners are more difficult to hit, and I use this method against runners almost all the time if I'm using a ranged weapon. Anyway, that would be all. Couple of simple advanced moves that can be used very effectively to continue doing your thing without the bastards interrupting you all the time. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more guides.